Okay, I think we can go ahead and get started. How are we feeling about that? Some couple more folks joining, but we will just go ahead and get started. And everyone, again, can see my screen, right? Thanks for the feedback. Okay, so thank you once again for everyone who's joining us today for our TDM in the Neighborhood webinar. So we will talk today about what TDM is, but just so that everyone knows, this is TDM week. So welcome to TDM week. We're going to be doing a lot with sustainable transportation, and especially today, we're talking to you about how you can prioritize sustainable transportation in your neighborhood. So I'm joined by Leslie today and Priscilla, and I'll go into a little bit about our bios in just a second. But I know everyone is interested in what our content is going to be. So I'd like to share with you all our agenda for today. So first we'll talk about who is goDCgo and what is TDM. If you're not already familiar with it, this will be a great opportunity for you to learn about what goDCgo is doing in the district and what TDM is and how it impacts you. And then I'll introduce our team. We'll talk about goDCgo services and how you can help with residential program, our employer program, and our schools program. And then I'd like to finish out by sharing our upcoming events, which we do have a lot. And then I'll share with you our contact information. So we do have a lot of content to cover. I'll try to save some time at the end for questions. But of course, if we don't get to all your questions today, at the very last slide, our contact information is on the screen, so you can feel free to email us with your questions. But hopefully we will be able to address them today. So first up, who is goDCgo, or what is goDCgo? We are an initiative of the District Department of Transportation, and we are the leading resource for transportation information and options. We encourage the use of sustainable transportation, and we offer complimentary transit resources and consulting services to DC organizations and commuters. And emphasis on complimentary, everything we do is totally for free. So if there are services in here that you pick up on that you are interested in, please reach out to us. We would love to help you and we would love to work with you, and we're not going to charge you a dime. And lastly, our goal serves to decrease traffic congestion, improve air quality, and create a better overall quality of life in the DC area. And now, because it is TDM week, I'd like to tell you all about what is TDM. So some of you have worked with us before and you might already know that this is pretty much all that we do. It stands for Transportation Demand Management. And what that means is we want to implement policies and strategies that are counterpart to our transportation infrastructure that help travelers learn about all the choices that are available to them when it comes to mobility. So when we maximize traveler choices, as you can see with the picture on the right, with public transit or car sharing or park and cash out, biking infrastructure, walking, scooting, and all of that, even telework, those are ways to reduce the load on our highways and our roads and can reduce driving alone. And therefore, by reducing all of that, we also reduce congestion. And so we want to increase the efficiency and safety of our transportation systems, improving mobility, access, and air quality. And all that happens with working towards transportation demand management and creating a lot of options for our commuters and our residents and everyone involved in our highways and roads. So now I'd like to introduce you all to our team. And first up we have, let's see, Leslie Henderson, who is with our residential program. So Leslie, would you like to introduce?
Oh, yeah, sure. I'll take over from here. Thanks so much, Jessica. All right, good morning, everyone. My name is Leslie Henderson. I'm the Residential Outreach Coordinator for goDCgo. And little to the right is my role here. I provide free consultations to residential properties and developers to incorporate sustainable transportation amenities for residents. Something else I do here is I work with developers and property managers just to make sure that just to make sure they have an understanding of the TDM strategies and requirements in their zoning order. And I make sure that the property managers and developers have everything they need to lead them one step closer to compliance. So I'm looking forward to working with you all.
Great, thanks, Leslie. Then we have the employer services. So the employer team is larger than just me, but today I'll be sharing with you all what our employer program is about. So my name is Jessica Lynn. I'm the Deputy Program Manager as well as an Employer Outreach Coordinator for goDCgo. And we work with district employers to improve commuter benefits options and awareness by providing complementary services such as consultations, trainings, and event support. We also assist and educate DC employers with transportation ordinances, so reporting and compliance. If you're aware of DC Park and Cash Out or commuter benefits law, we're here to help with that. And then I'll pass it over to our schools program.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Priscilla Ranjitkar, and I'm the school outreach coordinator at goDCgo. And I work with all the DC public charters and private schools with the students, staff, and families to help them to get to and from school in a sustainable manner. Among all the other different services we have at schools program, we also assist with the school parking zone program with the prerequisites, which is helping the schools with creating customized TDM plan, as well as handing out the commuter survey. And that's some of the things we do, but we'll talk about it more in soon. Go ahead, Jess.
Great,
I
thanks.
think, yep.
So now we will go into each program in depth about our services and ways that you can help us promote TDM in your neighborhood. We know that TDM has a huge impact when it comes to mobility issues. It affects the individual, it affects the neighborhood, and it affects the whole city. So there are many ways that you can partner with us to get the word out about TDM, but also make DC a safer and more livable place. So first, we'll start with residential services, and I'll hand it to Leslie to talk about goDCgo's programs.
Great. Thanks again, Jessica. All right. Hello again, everyone. And one thing I always like to say is that TDM starts at home. So what better place to get acquainted with TDM than through residential services and our free offerings. What you see here is a suite of services from our residential program, few of our offerings, and this is all free. We do a lot of things here. We do resident surveys. So for any property managers or developers that's watching this morning or will watch it later, you can receive tailored commuter surveys to actually survey your residents and uncover their travel patterns. And that way we can better assist the residents with the sustainable transportation amenities that you need for your residents, and to make sure that they go to good use. And this is available upon request. We also do on-site promotions. Some of you may have seen me before at a tabling at a residential property in the district. Besides that, we also do different types of lobby events. We do little coffee events in the mornings, and then other events. We can tailor lobby events, to your liking, and I work closely with the on-site property staff to do so. We also do things like how to use Capital Bikeshare. We also hold workshops, and we also do on-site staff trainings as well for the residents. As always, I'm available to reach out to if you need any brochures. And this is all free. If you need any type of brochures, whether it's Metro maps, Capital Bikeshare maps, DC bicycle maps, just feel free to email or give me a call, which you'll see later on in this discussion this morning. And we'll make sure that they get directly to you for free. We also do customized marketing materials. We do things like customized get around guides for your residential property, where it shows the nearby transportation options and for your residents. And that includes things like the nearest bus stops, the nearest metro rail stations, the nearest Capital Bikeshare stations, and then also information for other micro mobility options as well. We do bulk Capital Bikeshare ordering. So any of you that want to enhance your property and make sure that your residents have access to Capital Bikeshare, you can do so. with through Capital Bikeshare bulk memberships. And with this, you can get the annual memberships and the 24-hour memberships as well. We even have a toolkit available for you that you can click on here on our website. And we also do have, we also create customized flyers for you as well to share with your residents. Something I'll speak to a little more in depth shortly is we offer zoning order assistance as well, where I'll sit down with the developers and the stakeholders and help. So if you have a new building, or if you are like, hey, I have this TDM section, I need to meet these strategies in my zoning order, you know, you've come to the right place. We have a zoning order toolkit that you can download for free, and I'll sit with you and help you as well with creating a TDM plan, just to make sure, you know, you're one step closer to compliance and that everything's in place. Do you have any spare parking spaces? If you do, if your residential property has unused parking spaces, we can help connect you with various carpool and van pool drivers, you know, who are interested in leasing that space from you. So your parking spaces will have a slot, and so that they're not just sitting there empty and unused. And then one of our newer programs for the residential program is our goDCgo Let's Go Travel Training Program. This is a free session, and what we do is we educate district residents and also students and families as well on independently traveling using the nearby sustainable transportation options in your neighborhood. And I will speak more to that shortly. All right, so let's zoom in on a few of our offerings. We have zoning order assistance. So for you all that know, if you know anyone know anyone that's a property manager or a developer, send them my way for free zoning order assistance. This is a free service. Again, we have the residential zoning toolkit available for you, and we can help you with making sure all of your TDM strategies on your zoning order are implemented. And I will sit with you and go on and literally guide you step by step and almost literally hold your hand to make sure that you get everything that you need to open those doors. All right, next slide. All right, and so our next program here is we have our travel training program. Again, this is a free training for district residents, students, and families on how to independently travel using your nearby transportation options. And again, we customize this according to our audience. So if anyone has any special accessibility needs, just reach out, and we do a pre-intake prior to the training so that you can let me know all of your needs prior to the training, and make sure that we have everything in place to make sure that all trainees leave more confident than when they arrived. You receive education on navigating public transportation and micromobility options through the district. And you can see here are some of the visuals there. And this is our stroke. Yeah, you can see here we have Priscilla here, who you'll hear from for the schools program. She leads the schools and families travel training. And then myself, I lead all of the general DC residents as well. And the way this is structured is in part one, you'll sit in a classroom, you'll receive a tailored presentation, and this is tailored according to the neighborhood that we're in. So no one gets the same exact travel training. And we cover transportation and micromobility options in the neighborhood. And then we teach you how to access them. Part two, we actually put everything in place that you learned in the classroom. We do a hands-on and a field excursion to gain hands-on experience with the transportation options that you just learned. Not only will you get experience actually riding some of the services, but you'll also learn how to like things like load your smart trip card, access kids ride free if you participate in the students and families travel training. You'll learn kind of little good tidbits on how to navigate if you have accessibility challenges and other services that are available to you. All right, and these are just a few quotes from some of the trainees. You know, me and the kids really enjoyed themselves, and they're excited about riding the train. Very comprehensive, and everything was great. And as you see here, we have our nice classroom style. We take you on, and we actually take you around. We teach you how to load your Smart Trip card. We go over all of the new maps and different accessibility options on the train, when you're on the bus, and just other options that are available to you. And then afterwards, as you see here in the lower right picture, you will receive your travel training certificate showing that you successfully completed the travel training course. Next slide, please. All right, so something else that we do is we have our Go Far with No Car campaign. This is a residential campaign that we hold twice a year in targeting residential transit deserts or transit areas with low frequency service. And our main goal is to help residents with the first and last mile challenges that happen and how to navigate those specific neighborhoods without a car, leading to our ultimate goal of reducing single occupancy vehicle use. And here we have a few pictures here of our throughout the campaign we've done over the years at various properties and various neighborhood events. All right, so how can you get involved with Go Far with No Car? Number one, we have our fall campaign coming up starting next month in Georgetown. What you can do, you can share our upcoming travel training that we're holding at the Georgetown Regional Library. It's a DC Public Library branch on Saturday, November the 16th. We can provide a template for you for your newsletters or your email blast. Another way for you to get involved with this campaign is to participate in your residential property Go Far with No Car event. We will hold several lobby events through a few multifamily properties throughout the Georgetown neighborhood. And you can participate in those if you live in those specific properties, or if we're not holding it there and you're like, hey, I know of a property in Georgetown, hey, feel free to let me know. Connect us with residential properties in the neighborhood. And then third, and this is very critical, we want to make sure that we can help you, but we need you to help us help you by sharing the Go Far with No Car survey. With this, we can provide a template for you so you can push out that survey and to make sure that we get those back filled, because those responses help with improving transportation options in your neighborhood. So we encourage everyone to please share and complete that Go Far with No Car survey once it's received. All right, so you heard a lot of good stuff like, where do I go? Where can I start? First thing you can do, connect us to any new residential properties in your neighborhood. And this is residential properties throughout the entire district across all 8 wards. Connect us because we want to offer them our TDM services. Again, this is all a free service. Another thing, invite us to an ANC meeting or a related industry meeting or a related community meeting to speak to your property managers or residents about our beneficial programs. Something else you can do, you can share our travel trainings with the residents, with your community partners, share throughout your networks, or with other organizations that would benefit. We have 2 travel trainings coming up. One on October 26th at the District Department of Transportation located in Navy Yard on M Street. And then as part of our Go Far with No Car campaign in Georgetown, we're holding the travel training on November 16th at the Georgetown Branch Library. And lastly, please share our program and offerings with your networks. All right, so on that note, I am going to turn it back over to Jessica so she can speak more on employer services.
Thank you, Leslie. That's awesome. So employer services similarly has a large and wide menu of services that we offer, including our complimentary consultations, as I mentioned before, assistance complying with DC transportation ordinances, and many others, as you can see here. But I'd like to go into a little bit more detail about them. So here we have a slide with a lot of our services. So I'm going to talk about our employee commute surveys really quick. So for a lot of employers, it's hard for you to know exactly how your staff are getting to and from work. You might know generally their method of commute just from anecdotal information, passing by, talking to them, but really, how can you get aggregate data unless you put out a commute survey? So we offer custom commute surveys to help you learn about your commute behavior. We also offer Capital Bikeshare corporate memberships. We help you discover whether Capital Bikeshare is suitable for your office and what discounts are available to you. And I'll talk more about that in a second as well. We also do on-site lunch and learns or trainings. So if you'd like to share more information with employees or staff or businesses about what commuter benefits might be suitable for their workplace, we are happy to host a lunch and learn or a training on site. Just invite us out. We're happy to travel wherever you need us to be. And we can teach your employers. Maybe you have several businesses that are located in a neighborhood with difficult parking demands. We're happy to teach them about different options available to them, including carpool services, bike share, pre-tax benefits that might incentivize their employees to take transit. So yeah, let us know whether or not this might be a suitable service for you all. We also do maps, brochures, and customized marketing materials. So we have bike maps, we have bus maps, metro maps, and all of these help to put out information about how commuters can travel safely to and from work and sustainably. And like Leslie mentioned, we also do get around guides. And these are going to be customized maps that show all of the sustainable transportation options around a business or workplace. And these are great because you can share them with clients, you can share them with your family for bring your kids to work day, or if you have visitors coming into the office, these are great resources to share. They're also good for onboarding. New hires might not know the area as well as you do. So it's great for them to learn about what are the options available to me, and they don't have to rely on a car to get to and from work. So all of these are services that might be great for businesses. If you think of a neighborhood or a business that might benefit from this, please pass along our information. We're happy to create all these materials for free. We also do relocation assistance, telework, and alternative work schedule training and support. And then we have our annual commute incentives program, which is the Commuter Challenge, and our commuter benefits recognition program with the Transportation All-Stars. So the Commuter Challenge is going to be an incentive program where we give prizes out to commuters, employers for logging sustainable commutes. And that is our way of motivating people in the district to take a sustainable commute, try something new. If they currently drive, maybe this is an opportunity to try sustainable transportation method and win some cash prizes for it. So these are different strategies we have to help people to take sustainable transportation and try different options in DC. Our commuter benefits recognition program also is a way for employers to get behind sustainable transportation, be recognized for their efforts to make DC more green, more livable. And if they currently do have a great range of commuter benefits, that's contributing towards a sustainable DC, and we want to recognize them. So that is what our Transportation All-Stars program is for. It highlights employers and organizations in DC about their great work towards making DC sustainable in transportation. So we have a lot of participants currently, but we're always looking to designate more employers, more organizations. So if you have a business in mind that has a great array of commuter benefits program, please nominate them. Let us know so we can get them recognized. They'll get a window cling, they'll get a badge, they'll be posted on our website. And just overall, it's a great honor. So let us know. And now, like I mentioned before, I want to talk about Capital Bikeshare. So really quickly, Capital Bikeshare is the third largest bike share system in our country. We have about 300 million trips taken annually, and it is the most affordable bike share system in the US. We have more than 700 stations, and over half of them are inside the district. We also, if you've seen those new e-bikes around the city, those were launched in spring 2023, and we have a whole bunch of them. So please feel free to try them out, give us feedback. And in total, there are over 2,000 e-bikes in the district. And these are great because they can help anyone who has mobility challenges, or, DC has hills. So you can get over those hills much easier, much smoother, with less effort. So means you're less sweaty as well. And the reason why I wanted to talk about Capital Bikeshare is because your businesses can actually qualify for a discount. So there is a corporate pricing. Capital Bikeshare corporate members, they get a 47% discount on their Bikeshare memberships. Normally it's $95 for an individual, but through the corporate membership, your individuals are only paying about $50 and the employer can cover it for the individual. So that would be $0 for the employee and 50 paid by the employer, or 25 paid by the employer and 25 paid by the individual, the employee. And this is a great discount. I said it's 47%, it's almost half because typically it's $95. So I would really encourage businesses to take advantage of this, especially if they are located near a Capital Bikeshare station where their employees could really take advantage of this benefit. And this pricing is for a whole year. So it's not monthly. You pay 50 if you're employer and nothing if you're the employee, or 25 for the whole year. That's 365 days, 24/7. The Bikeshare membership is yours. It's not just Monday through Friday. I know we're talking to employers, so a lot of it is going to be Monday through Friday when I talk, but this is going to be for all 7 days of the week. The membership is yours. So if you have a lot of Bikeshare stations in your neighborhood and near your workplace, think about it. Please pass along the word to your businesses, the local employers, and let them know about this great discount they can take advantage of. So here's a link to signing up for Capital Bikeshare. If you are a BID or an ANC and you can think of businesses that are within your connections and you want to share the joy of Capital Bikeshare, please feel free to copy this link and send it to someone you know who might be in charge of administering a Capital Bikeshare benefit. And this is just an enrollment or interest form, so they would just share this information with Capital Bikeshare, and from there they can talk about whether or not Capital Bikeshare pricing works out for them. So I would highly encourage you to copy this link, this QR code, or the link above, and pass it along. Moving on, so we have outreach and special events as well. We do commuter benefits fairs. That's probably where you'll see us the most often. We'll be out and about in different offices promoting commuter benefits and sustainable transportation options. As you can see, I am there in the top left with all our maps and brochures, goodies, and fun swag. And this is our way of building enthusiasm for commuter benefits and promoting participation in your benefits program. So we'll be out there talking to individuals about their benefits offerings and how they can take advantage of them, how people currently commute, and what options might make the most sense for them. And then we also have biking resources for employees. So we'll do trainings, like I said, Capital Bikeshare. If an employer signs up for Capital Bikeshare, we will also provide a complimentary training so their employees actually know how to use Capital Bikeshare. Even though they see the bikes around, they might not know how to actually access them or what the features on the bike are or how payment works. So we are there to help and train your employees so that they feel comfortable taking advantage of the Bikeshare benefit. And of course, we have bike maps as well to share. We also host employer forums. So this past year, we did an employer forum for the DC Park and Cash Out Law and DC Commuter Benefits Law, where you can come in and talk to us about your questions or any challenges you have about the law. This year, we are thinking of doing one for low-wage and shift-based workers. So if you have businesses in specific industries or any businesses that have low-wage or shift workers, please feel free to reach out to us and let us know that you'd be interested in this forum. We would love to know about commute behavior among this population so that we can dedicate our outreach to them and really support this workforce, because combating sustainable transportation barriers can be difficult and it is an ongoing effort of ours. We really want to support this segment of our workforce. So please let us know if you'd be interested or if you have any insights that you'd be willing to share at the forum. That will probably happen next year. So there's a little bit of a pause on that. I just wanted to put it out there so you have it in the back of your minds. And lastly, gamification and incentives. Like I shared, the Commuter Challenge is a great example of the way incentives can work to motivate commuters, employers, and employees on making a change towards sustainable transportation. So there's myself and my colleague Dorianne Aviche, who is also an employer outreach coordinator, and we We're out there promoting the Commuter Challenge, telling folks about how they can win prizes for logging sustainable commutes. The Commuter Challenge is actually a 3-month long friendly competition to incentivize sustainable travel. And this year it's going to be happening from, or I guess next year, it's March to May. So this year it was also March to May, but next year it's going to be even bigger because we're thinking of making it go regional. Last year, only DC commuters and residents could qualify. This year, it's going to be even bigger than ever. So employers of all sizes are welcome, and individual commuters can also choose to sign up without their employer. So this is a great way to get your businesses to think about how they can incentivize sustainable travel, and also if they have parking demand challenges, that their employees can try out different ways of commuting and perhaps alleviate that stress on demand for parking. Next, we have a group bike ride happening in October. So this is one way that we support with biking for employees. So we have an event coming up in October with WABA, the Washington Area Bicycle Association, where we're helping adult commuters become confident and familiar with city cycling, teach them what to look out for on the roads, how to communicate their intentions, and how to ride safely, and best tips, I guess. Next up, we'll have an October webinar about navigating the changing transportation system. As many of you might know, we are losing some service on the DC circulator and more to come. So if any of you all are interested in learning about how to navigate the changing transportation system, or you think that businesses and employees might benefit from this, please feel free to reach out to us. We'll be posting more information about this soon. We also have a newsletter. So if you sign up to our newsletter, which I will share at the end of this slide or at the end of this presentation, sign up for our newsletter and you'll hear about upcoming webinars like this that will be useful for your neighborhood and your businesses. And that way you can take those links and push them out through your channels and your newsletters as well. And lastly, that's the forum that I was talking about, combating barriers to sustainable transportation among low-wage and shift workers, to come in May or June, TBD, but wanted to share that so you can look out for these employer programs as they come. If any of these piqued your interest, please feel free to sign up for our newsletter. I will share that QR code at the very end of this presentation. And then I wanted to mention really quickly, because we are coming up on the DC Parking Cash Out Law reporting deadline, which is January 15th, that goDCgo is here to assist. So if you know of any employers who might be interested in a free consultation on reporting compliance, you can feel free to share this link with them. That is on our website. That's where they can schedule with myself or Dorian about reporting compliance, so we can talk to them and answer their questions as needed. We'll also host a webinar on October 9th for employers interested in any new changes to the reporting process. And if you would like to save that link or push it out through your newsletters, the QR code is there on the right. Feel free to take a picture, save that URL, or we'll also share this slide deck afterwards. So you'll have a copy of all these links as well. We'll share a recap, we'll share a recording. And to wrap it all up, how you can help. So the first way is share the joy of Capital Bikeshare with businesses around you. Tell your employers that they may be eligible for a discount and that there are many perks, and it opens up a lot of travel choices once you have a Capital Bikeshare membership. So tell your employers about it. Second, promote goDCgo's upcoming Parking Cash Out Law webinar. So share that link that I just had up on the screen. And then lastly, meet with us to discuss the possibility of a training or tabling event in your neighborhood. So there are many commuter events coming up in the spring, but we're also happy to do specific outreach with your employer's employees. So let us know if you'd like to meet with us. The links were there on the screen, and we'll send it out again at the end for the recap. And now I'll hand it over to Priscilla.
Thank you, Jess. School services, goDCgo school services have similar services and crossover with the employers and the residential as well, but the school services encourages and provides resources to staff, students, and families to get them to and from school in a sustainable manner. And we also, like all the services, we also provide complimentary consulting services to schools and we also provide commuter surveys as well. We also assist with creating customized TDM plan, also help with compliance assistance with local laws such as the DC parking cash out law. We also host webinars for the staff, students, and families in different areas to educate and encourage them to use sustainable transportation. We also host events at the school, such as during their own events or back to school night, back to school socials. So there's different events that schools host as well. And we also support transit days such as walk roll to school day, which is coming up soon, which is October 9th. And we also host events during back to school day, bike to school day and bike to work day, which is May 8th and May 17th of next year. Next slide, please. Thank you. And we have a program at since we have different services and programs at school services, we also have Cabby for high school. Just a sec. Cabby for high school, and this is our third year of the program. The Cabby for High School program enables high school students ages 16 and above to sign up and use Capital Bikeshare as a form of transportation to and from school. And we've distributed free annual Capital Bikeshare membership codes as well as helmets upon completion of bike safety presentations. So the students who participate in this program has to go through bike safety presentations. We make them go through this presentation to make sure they know all this rules and regulations of the bike as well as the road safety as well. And we've included just the DC public schools in the past year, but this year we are also including charter schools as well. And this instills the practice of riding bikes from a very young age, which changes the behavior of using sustainable transportation, and it becomes a practice for them as well. And this provides a form of transportation for them to get to and from school in a sustainable manner, as well as get them to school, to after school activities, work, and other recreational outings. And we've heard really great things from the students. We've gotten positive feedback from the students and the school admins as well. So we'll be continuing this program for this third year now. So if you have any high school students who are 16 and above, or any school admins who might be interested in participating in this program, please tell them, and I'm happy to include them in our program as well. And next slide, please. So Capital Bikeshare is not just for the school students only, but also for the school staff. So DCPS school staff get free Capital Bikeshare membership, and they can sign up with their DC government email. And the code is right here. And this can be only redeemed with the DC government email. If you want more instructions, detailed instructions, we will send it to you through the recap. But the private and the charter schools can also enroll in the Capital Bikeshare corporate membership, like Jessica mentioned before. All the details are, she mentioned, is also available for the private and the charter school staff. And if you want to enroll in it, I'm happy to help you as well, but you can also use this QR code to enroll in the Capital Bikeshare corporate membership. Next slide, please. It comes the school parking zone program. So a lot of DC schools are located in the residential areas, and they have very limited number of parking permits to park on the streets that have RPP, residential parking permit parking. So, and the DC schools are frequently located in the middle of the residential area, which means the street parking near schools is often restricted by the residential permit parking. This also leads to a situation where many school staff who drive to school from different areas every day to have a restricted parking area, and then they get parking tickets as well. However, DDOT's school parking zone program provides a relief to the school staff who deal with this parking situation and give them a limited parking permits. However, in order to get this parking permits, they have to encourage the school staff to use sustainable transportation. This gives them an opportunity to educate and encourage them about all the sustainable transportation around them. And with the school parking zone program, the schools um, uh, have to go through a prerequisites. They have a prerequisites before applying for the parking passes. So goDCgo assists schools with the prerequisites, which is first they need to appoint a school transportation coordinator, which is a point of contact at a school. And we will also distribute the commuter surveys, and the school has to meet the survey threshold, and that depends on the number of school staff at the school itself. And we also help them create a customized DDM plan and reach a goal level um, that helps them encourage staff, students, and families to use sustainable transportation, and helps them create goals for the year as well. And after the completion of the prerequisites, they are able to apply for the school parking zone program. So if you know any schools who are in the resident permit parking area, and they might be in a sticky situation, we will help them with the school parking zone program and the prerequisites so that they can encourage their school staff and the families and students to use sustainable transportation. Next slide, please. So here it comes, like how you can help. You can encourage and educate school staff, students, and families about sustainable transportation and their benefits. You can invite goDCgo for events or to host any webinars as well. We do customized webinars for students and staff and families, so that they learn about their commuter benefits, as well as the students learn about all the sustainable transportation around them. You can also, the best way to encourage and educate is to lead by example. And you can use sustainable transportation yourself, so that you set an example for the staff, students, and families as well. And sorry. And you can create and make sure the surrounding of the school is safe for the students, staff, and families. For example, if you have any safety concern, traffic safety issues around school, or safety concerns for pedestrian, people biking or taking transit, or there's unmarked or marked crosswalks that appear unsafe, you can always contact the Safe Routes to School or report it to 311. If you know that a school is in a very busy traffic area, you can also request a school crossing guard and you can send in an application and request a school crossing guard around the school area, which will help them which will help the students to cross the roads, to see if there's any busy traffic, navigate all around them. And I will link it in our recap, so you'll be receiving that as well. And the best way is to connect with us. So if you know any school admins, and if you know any school personnel, you can connect them with our school goDCgo school services, and you can also schedule a meeting with us. You can use this QR code to schedule a meeting with us, and we will be happy to help you. And with that, I will pass it back to Jess.
Thanks, Priscilla. So we do have a lot of upcoming events across all our programs, but as I mentioned earlier, if you are interested in any of our newsletters, so you can stay in touch with us and keep up with all the latest news and learn about our upcoming webinars, programs, trainings, travel trainings, and more, please do sign up for our newsletters. If my screen will change, there we go. So there's the employer newsletter, the residential, and the school. Whichever one or ones interest you most, please feel free to pull out your phones right now and really quick, just sign up for a newsletter. It just requires your name, your email, and basic contact. So there is our newsletter. I'll leave it up for just a moment. And you can always unsubscribe if you're no longer needing our information, but I would highly recommend it because we do post a lot of very good and helpful, beneficial DC local information. So please feel free to sign up and stay in touch with us. And beyond that, we have a lot of local events going on as well. So 9/20 this Friday is parking day. Thank you to Leslie for coordinating. We will be at 1455 K Street Northwest near the Starbucks. So hopefully we'll see you there. Parking day, if you don't know, is where we convert a parking space into a mini park. Yeah, so it's kind of symbolic, I guess, where we'll hopefully be converting cars off the road into places where people can live, play, talk, walk, chat. So see you there and learn about sustainable transportation. And we also have the very next day, 8th Street Festival. If you weren't already planning on going, well, we hope we'll see you there. So I don't know exactly where we'll be yet, but it will be, of course, along 8th Street. And then the following, or I guess 2 weeks later, is Open Streets. So we'll be at Open Streets as well. You can feel free to come by our tent. If you don't know, Open Streets is where they create a long segment of the road. They close down the street to vehicle traffic. So it'll be great for kids and residents and visitors and dogs to come out and experience the street from a human standpoint. It will be on 7th Street, I think. Yeah, 7th Street in between wards 2 and 6. So yeah, that's East Street to Rhode Island Avenue Northwest. And then after that, 2 weeks later, we'll be at Biketoberfest in Southeast. So on Pennsylvania Avenue in Southeast, we'll see you there. It's on Saturday. It'll be all day long. We're teaching people about biking, or if you have your own bike, you want to come out and say hello. We are celebrating all things biking. So for fun, for work, and for safety, all of that. So we hope to see you there, learn about goDCgo's many different services and all our different modes and the ways that we're supporting sustainable travel in the neighborhood. Feel free to also help us promote these events. And if you're interested in learning more about TDM, again, sign up for our newsletter and stay in touch with all of us. So lastly, I will just close out by sharing our contact information. If you would like to follow up with either Leslie, myself, or Priscilla, our emails and phone numbers are on the screen. We have the residential outreach coordinator, the employer outreach coordinator, and the schools outreach coordinator. So do feel free to share with us your questions. And we'll also stick around for a little bit if there are any questions right now, pressing urgent matters you'd like to share. But if not, that is all for today. Thank you so much for joining us and learning about TDM and ways that you can help us to promote it. Happy TDM week, everyone, and enjoy the rest of your weeks.
Have a good day, everyone.
Thanks. Hi, Tom. I see your message in the chat. You have a long list of questions. That's wonderful. You can feel free to unmute and we'll see if we can answer some of those questions.
Yeah, hi. So thank you. I'm not sure if this is just an ANC presentation or if they're non-ANC commissioners here. But yeah, I have a lot of questions. I was not really aware of your department, so thank you guys for this presentation. Am I correct that you guys are just mostly doing outreach stuff and you don't have any formal role in TSI investigations or traffic engineering or any policy decisions? Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
So we are operating out of the District Department of Transportation, but we are mostly focused on TDM outreach. Actually, we're completely focused on TDM outreach. So if you do have questions regarding TSI and traffic, please feel free to reach out to DDOT. Is there anyone on DDOT right now that might have a good contact for that? If not, we will
No,
follow
I mean,
up.
I have the contact. I've been an ANC commissioner 14 years. I've got a lot of the contacts. I'm just wondering, we frequently run up against, and I guess the other question is, what is the coordination with, I have a bunch of questions, but do you guys work with the safe routes to school people who seem to be really hard to get answers from? Do they have a role in these processes? I presume they do, but you didn't reference them.
This is Katie. Hi, Tom. I'm at DDOT in the Planning and Sustainability Division. So our Safe Routes team, they're really focused on the engineering piece and the safety analysis of the infrastructure around the schools, not so much on the programming side. So we focus on the programming side, working with people, and they do a lot of infrastructure. So we coordinate, but we don't. We don't have input on their work and vice versa. Is there something specific you were wondering about there?
No, I'm just, I mean, this is a thrust of my question. There seems to be a